Hello students, welcome to this lecture series on digital communication. Today we are going to study a very important topic which might or might not be related to subject. It depends on you whether you consider it as a syllabus, as a part of syllabus or not. I consider it very important. That's why I will be discussing this and I'll be telling you why I consider it very important. Okay. So first, today we'll be talking about three kinds of signals. Not three, four types of signals. First is a first is an analog signal. What is an analog signal? Then we will see what is a continuous signal. Continuous signal. Then we will see third, what is a discrete signal. And at last, we will see what is a digital signal. Now, our subject name is digital communication. So we should know digital signal. Then we will be moving from analog communication to digital communication. So we should know analog signal. And the other two are very important because they will be creating confusions in your mind. The difference between analog and continuous is very important. The difference between discrete and digital is very important. So we'll see what are the differences and why they are very important. Okay. We'll start with an analog signal. Analog signal. The definition of an analog signal, you can directly say a signal which is continuous in time and continuous in amplitude is called an analog signal. A signal which is continuous in time, continuous in time and amplitude, continuous in amplitude also. If these conditions, both of the conditions are satisfied, continuous in time and continuous in amplitude, then we will call that signal as an analog signal, otherwise not. Okay, so an example of it is this. This is an analog signal which is continuous in time. Continuous in time means it is taking all the values in between this particular range. It is taking all the values in between minus 5 volt to plus 5 volt. There is always a range for each and every signal. So here the range is minus 5 volt to plus 5 volt, and you can see that it is taking each and every value at some point of time, and so in that way we can say it is continuous in amplitude. Okay, because it is taking each and every value between this range minus 5 volt to plus 5 volt. Then comes the time, continuous in time. It is continuous in time because it is defined at each and every point of time. It has a valid or a defined amplitude at each and every point of time. Before 0 volt, we can say it is 0. Sorry, because before 0 second, we can say the amplitude is 0 volt, and after this particular maybe some t1 point, t1 time, the amplitude is again 0 volt. And in between 0 to t1, we are having amplitudes ranging from minus 5 volt to plus 5 volt. So it is defined, or it has a valid amplitude at each and every point of time, which is nothing but continuous in time. So if a signal is continuous in time as well as continuous in amplitude, then we can call it as an analog signal, it is an analog signal. Okay, so this was all about analog signal. Now we will see continuous signal. What is the definition of a continuous signal? A continuous signal is any signal which is continuous in time. That's it. Continuous in time. We don't have to consider the amplitude at all. The amplitude can be continuous or it can be discrete in nature. We don't have to see the amplitude to decide whether a signal is continuous or not. Okay, we just have to see whether it is continuous in time or not. Continuous in time means it should have a valid or a defined amplitude at each and every point of time. If it is having that nature, then we will be calling it as a continuous signal, otherwise not. The signal that we just saw, the analog signal, that is also a continuous signal, because the definition of analog signal says that it should be continuous in time as well as continuous in amplitude. So because an analog signal is always continuous in time, an analog signal will always be a continuous signal. Now the vice versa, which is a continuous signal is always an analog signal, that is not true. That means a continuous signal can be an analog signal or it cannot be an analog signal. It may or may not be an analog signal. The case where a continuous signal is not an analog signal is this. This is basically a continuous signal. This is a continuous signal, but can we call it as an analog signal? No. Why? Because we cannot call this as an analog signal, because for a signal to be analog, it needs to be continuous in amplitude also. But here, as you can see, the range of this signal is -5 volt to +5 volt. Okay, but it is taking only two values, that is +5 volt and -5. It is not taking any value in between these two values. So this is not continuous in amplitude, because it is not taking all the values in between these two values. So this is only continuous in time because it is having some amplitude at each and every point of time. It is not it is not having any amplitude at this point of time. Okay, so it is having some amplitude here also, here also, here also, here also. The amplitude at these points where it is migrating from +5 volt to -5 volt, the amplitude at these points of time, we have some mathematical techniques to find out the amplitude at these points. This is which is 1 second and 2 second. We have techniques to find out amplitudes at those points of time. So we can find amplitudes at each and every point of time. That's why it is continuous in time, and that is why it is called a continuous signal. But since it is not taking all the values in between the range of values, that is -5 volt to +5 volt, that is why it is not continuous in amplitude, and that is the only reason it cannot be called as an analog signal. So please note it down that an analog signal is always continuous signal. An analog signal will always be continuous, but a continuous signal may be analog or it may not be analog. This is the case where it is not analog. The first case was it was continuous and it was analog also. Okay, but this is the case where this continuous signal won't be an analog signal. Okay, so now we will go to the next signal, which is discrete signal. Discrete signal is simply in the same manner like the continuous signal is continuous in time. The discrete signal is discrete in time. We don't have to see the amplitude. The amplitude can be continuous or it can be discrete. Okay, so just keep in mind that continuous signal and discrete signal are defined on the basis of the time, whether the amplitude is defined at each point of time or not. If it is defined at each point of time, then the signal will be continuous signal, and if it is defined only at discrete points of time, then it will be called as a discrete signal. We don't see the amplitude in case of a continuous signal and a discrete signal. We just look at their time, the time axis. We just look at the time axis and decide whether it is continuous or discrete, depending on whether the amplitude is present at each and every point of time or it is present only at discrete points of time. You see a discrete signal. This is a discrete signal. We will not see the amplitude at all. There is no point in seeing the amplitude when we are considering the discrete time signal and the continuous time signal. When we are talking about continuous time signal and discrete time signal, we will just look at the time axis. That's it. We will not look at the amplitude axis. Okay. This will be denoted by x. The denotions are very important. In case of analog and continuous signal, we were writing the notation of the signal as x of t, and the time axis was denoted by small t. But in case of discrete and digital signal, we will see that they will be denoted by x of n, and the time axis will be denoted by small n, because they can take, the time can take only integer values. Okay, so the only specific integer values. So we will be considering the time axis in terms of n and not t. Okay, so this is a discrete signal because it has an amplitude only at specific instance of time, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, if you say that it has a zero amplitude in between 0 and 1, so this is not true. It is not having any amplitude, any defined amplitude in between 0 and 1. There is no amplitude in between 0 and 1. It is undefined. So, since it is undefined, it is not having amplitude at each and every point of time. That means it is discrete in time, and because it is discrete in time, it is called a discrete signal. Okay. The next signal is a digital signal, which is what we will be studying in our subject. Digital communication is all about a digital signal, discrete in time as well as discrete in amplitude. It is something like a continuous signal. In a continuous signal, the time and amplitude both were continuous in nature. Continuous in time and continuous in amplitude is called as a analog signal. But here in a digital signal, it will be discrete in time as well as discrete in amplitude. So the example is very similar to a discrete signal, very similar. The only difference is we saw digital signal as the discrete signal as something like this. We saw the discrete signal, we saw something like this. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This was the discrete signal that we just saw. This is a discrete signal. This is not a digital signal. This is a discrete signal. If you just change these values, if a signal has the amplitude values, they change from those values that we just wrote to these values, then this will become a digital signal. So the difference between a digital signal and a discrete signal is not with respect to time, because a digital signal is also discrete in time and a discrete signal is also discrete in time. But a digital signal has one extra property, which is discrete in amplitude. So now it is taking only specific values, -2, 1, 2, that's it. Some integer values it is taking. That's why we call it as a digital signal. So a digital signal is discrete in time as well as discrete in amplitude. Now, one very important point, because the reason why I am discussing this is, in many books you will find the digital signal like this. they will call this kind of a signal as a digital signal. And repeating it, this type of signal is called as a digital signal. This is not a digital signal. Okay, in pulse code modulation, we will see we have three blocks: sampler, quantizer, and encoder. So digital signal is obtained by sampling and quantizing an analog signal. Okay, and after we get a digital signal, when we encode it using an encoder, then we get this signal. This whatever I have made, this signal is obtained once we encode a digital signal. So this can be termed as a digitally encoded signal. Okay, this is an encoded signal, not a digital signal. Please note this. This is very important. This is digitally encoded signal. This is not a digital signal at all, because the definition of digital signal is discrete in time and discrete in amplitude. But this is not at all discrete in time. This is discrete in amplitude, definitely, because it is having only two values. It is taking only two values. Maybe this is maybe plus 5 volt and this is minus 5 volt. So this is taking only two values. That means it is discrete in amplitude, but it is not discrete in time. It is having an amplitude at each and every point of time. So we cannot say that this is this signal is discrete in time. That's why this is not a digital signal. In fact, you can call it, as we saw this signal, this is a continuous signal, not analog, but this is a continuous signal. So if a signal is continuous, you cannot call it as a digital signal. Okay, sorry, this is a continuous signal. This is a continuous signal. Okay, this is not a digital signal. Please note this point. This is very important. And in future, I'll be pointing at this thing, that digital signal and digitally encoded signals are different, altogether different. So this was it for this lecture. And from the next lecture onwards, we'll see what is the advantage of digital communication over analog communication and move to further topics. Thank you.